Hey guys, it's Sandra from Inspired Keys, and today I am here to answer a question from an Inspired Keys Academy member. And this is Asen's question. I don't have the confidence to play the keyboard yet and sing at the same time. Alright, so if that's you, be sure to stay tuned to watch the rest of this video because I've got some tips on what you can do to gain confidence in playing the keyboard and singing at the same time. Tip number one, always start very, very simple. And when I say simple, I really mean just making your accompaniment really, really easy. So if it was a song like My Life Is in You, instead of doing fancy accompaniment patterns like that's just a lot going on, and you've got to think about that rhythm groove going on, and then you've got to think about the words. So think about something like maybe just do chord and just my life is in you, Lord, my strength is in you, Lord. So start with a sustained block chord accompaniment with just one chord held throughout the bar, and then that just kind of lays the foundation for the harmony of the song, and then you could just focus on the lyrics and slowly build from there. Maybe do something a little bit fancier in between when you're not singing. I know for me, I really struggle with multitasking. Just ask my husband, I just can't seem to do it. And what I do is I would really just focus on one thing at a time. So if I was going to be singing a lot, I'll keep what I play really, really easy, and then I'll only complicate a little bit more of what I play and do some complex stuff if I am not singing. So during the moments in between phrases, or maybe at an instrumental section when my voice, when my mouth is actually closed and I don't have to think about lyrics because I'm just so bad at handling both. So yeah, think about how you can just start really simple. I think a really good way to start also is to begin with private worship, because remember, the whole thing about what we're doing here is to worship God. And it's all out of an overflow of our intimacy with God, and it's really not so much about performing well. That is important when we go on stage and minister, but I think a lot of it overflows from our intimate times with Jesus. So I'll never forget how one of my favorite worship leaders, Israel Houghton, a lot of the things he does amazing on stage, he mentioned in interviews that they are all an overflow of his times just worshiping Jesus alone in the privacy of his kitchen. And I thought that was really cool, and that really inspired me to spend a lot of time just in my own music room, in my little music studio, and just jamming and playing. And you know, when you're by yourself, you could just kind of do your own thing. No one's there to watch you and judge you if you're playing wrongly. It's just you and Jesus sees our heart, and he won't like critique us and go like, haha, you played a mistake. So we don't have to worry about that stress factor. And so when I worship alone with Jesus and I know I'm not good at singing and playing, I just try, and I just keep going on. And in that private worship, it's also where you will improve in your craft. You will grow in the skill of singing and playing at the same time. So if you haven't tried it already, spend lots and lots of time, like we're talking hours after hours on after hours on end, and just playing and worshiping God in your private moments with your instrument, with your voice, and even explore like free worship stuff. Another tip that I can share is to find a key that suits you and find a song that's easy to play. You know, you don't want to find something that you're straining in terms of your voice, because you have to think about voice factors as well, because this is no longer just playing, you're also singing. So it would really help if you could play in all 12 keys, because if the original key of a song is too high or too low for you, you could just transpose it and fit a key that matches your pitch range. And of course, find a song that's easy to play. But if it was a song that you really need to sing or want to sing, but it's a bit complex, try what I did. Like, just play a chord and hold it, and don't do any accompaniment patterns, and only slip in a few more additional patterns if and when you can handle it. Now, after doing the sustained block chord thing, what you can do to progress to the next step is to try and play a slightly more complex but still very easy chord progression, which is, or rather chord accompaniment pattern, like instead of just my life is in you, Lord. Now that's just one very long chord to last the whole bar. Maybe try one chord per beat, which is my life is in you, Lord, my hope is in you, Lord, my strength. You know, something like just a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you are also struggling with that, then what you can do to start getting into the groove of being able to sing and have that sense of 1, 2, 3, 4 is to just begin with clapping. So what I'll do is ask you to try and see if you can do my life is in you, Lord, or whatever it is that you are singing. Try and just be able to clap the pulse or the steady beat of the song. And if you can do that, you will be able to play the 1 chord per beat accompaniment pattern as well, which is in a sense the second step from a block chord for the entire bar. Okay, at this point I feel like I need to explain a little bit more about free worship. It's definitely depending on your style of worship. Perhaps you might come from a more traditional way of worship where you guys don't really do free worship stuff. But it's actually really cool how maybe sometimes you can try to learn to be sensitive to what the Holy Spirit is putting in your heart. And if you hear this tune and you're just worshiping God in the private moments, and then you feel like, hey, I want to just sing this riff, it's really cool. Just try it, play it. Maybe it's not singing this riff, but playing a certain riff. It can be really beautiful and an outflow of something from God, from heaven, and manifested down on earth. So I would encourage you to try it if you haven't already. I'm not sure if I can just do it on demand at the moment because I haven't actually gone into like the depths of private worship, but if I can try to demonstrate something along the lines of a free worship moment for a song like My Life Is In You, I might, and it's a nice old traditional song, but let's see how we're going to do a free worship thing. So assuming I've already sung the song like to the end, and then this is like a repeating of the section. My life is in you, Lord. Oh, my life is in you, Lord. Oh, my life is in you. Oh, my life is in you. Something like, just lots of O's and lots of, this is really down to your personal style, and I don't think that was like fantastic either, but it's just between you and God. And once again, it comes from practicing. So the more you do it, the easier it gets. So Asen, I hope this answers your question, and thanks so much for asking. Now, if you're curious about what Inspired Keys Academy is, it is basically a place where I have housed all of the teaching videos that I've created, step-by-step videos on how to play worship keys better. And not only do you get to access that as a member 24/7, you also get to ask me questions and I will be answering them with priority, like I am doing in a video like this. So don't forget, you also get to access the 31 Days to Better Worship Keyboard Playing ebook as an Academy member as well. So if you're interested to find out more, be sure to check it out at inspiredkeys.com/join. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless!